Hello, good evening. Bringing you a review of the FTSE 100 for the trading session, the 9th of December 2020. Be sure to visit my website www.inter-market-analysis.com, and you can certainly follow me on Twitter where I'm much more active. Okay, in terms of the FTSE then, apologies for missing yesterday's obviously insight, but really it's a battle of two basically fundamental catalysts. The first one is the obviously scenario regarding the COVID vaccine, which obviously has been the case, hence the reason why we've had this immense rally in the FTSE 100, and certainly seems to have lost some strength as of late. As you can see there, we've failed to make new highs on the 10-minute chart. Okay, the daily chart obviously has put in a doji candle, today, certainly exhaustion candle on the daily chart, and the weekly chart certainly has put in a doji as well, where you've got previous obviously support equals resistance around this fib 61% zone. So the FTSE having broken out of the keys of resistance at 6480, it's certainly pushed higher, and the next potential zone now is that fib 61, which is around the 6620. I think the pivot high so far has been around the 6600, and let's see if we can actually pass that. Now the reason why, or the fundamental catalyst as to that's stopping the FTSE from rallying at this very moment in time, is obviously Brexit failure, given the fact that they've left. It certainly seems like a no-deal scenario certainly is very likely now, and that obviously creates uncertainty, political uncertainty, and therefore obviously is risk off for the FTSE to a large extent. Also, given the fact that the US dollar obviously has found potentially found support here as well. Keep an eye on the dollar chart, and also you've got the likes of oil and obviously commodities. This is the Wisdom Tree GCC index. Okay, it's basically found resistance at gap fill, and you can see that the market certainly seems to have started to reverse here in terms of commodities, and given the fact that the dollar obviously has found support. Oil prices certainly obviously languishing here now around this 48.49 on the Brent crude. Okay, and copper chart certainly, like I highlighted, has found resistance as well, so keep that in mind. Chinese imports were weaker than expected. This is a stats that came out yesterday, and that really is the main focus that everybody should be looking into in terms of copper, and obviously Dr. Copper generally tends to forecast the market pretty accurately. So again, it's Brexit, okay, and I think Brexit really will take some wind out of the sails of this FTSE rally that we've been seeing thus far. As you can see here, oil and gas sector certainly coming into resistance. In terms of the next potential moves, really are dictated by the FTSE 250 and the FTSE 350. Again, you can see certainly a potential pause on the FTSE 350. Again, there's no real resistance here until we get to 3,900, 4,000, but a potential pullback on the back of obviously Brexit mess certainly is a highly likely scenario. FTSE 250 as well has broken above the fib 75%, so it has to be respected, but we are obviously pushing lower on the back of Brexit uncertainty, and that certainly seems to be the main catalyst going forward then from my perspective. Now looking at the 60-minute chart, there's a potential setup of a HNS formation with the neckline clearly visible here at 6520. So if you take away 6600, which was a pivot high, 6600, okay, minus the neckline, which is at 6520, that gives you 80 points on the downside. So we're looking at 6440 if I'm correct. Yes, thank God, the mathematics certainly add up. Okay, so yes indeed, so 6440 in the downside. Now where does 6440 take you? That's the question. So let's just make this bigger so you can actually see this, what's going on here. Okay, so let me just see. And just move that here. I'm not sure what that gap is doing there. Okay, so yes, so in terms of the downside, so it looks like we are going to retest the breakout. So the breakout was around the 6460 zone. Okay, obviously if the market continues to flush and goes really risk off, and the market starts to move lower, then you are looking at 6400, and then ultimate support is around the 6300 zone. Given the fact that we've got the vaccine euphoria, that certainly seems unlikely, but again, every scenario is a possibility when it comes to trading. I think we've all been trading long enough to certainly know that. Okay, so let me just give you this potential setup for the HNS formation, and again, very easily this pattern could certainly be negated in the back of vaccine euphoria. There is talk with regards to US stimulus. It certainly is hit a stalemate, and again, doesn't seem to be any agreement at present. That's why the dollar started to rally. given the fact, and I'm not going to go into the dollar and the bond relationship, and obviously the US fiscal stimulus relationship. That's for another day in another video. Okay, I think that I did say I was going to keep this brief, so keep an eye on that potential H&S formation on the FTSE in the 60-minute chart. You've got resistance quickly at 6560, 6577, and then obviously 6600 on the upside. Support you've got here at 6520, which again certainly seems to be the bedrock for the FTSE at the moment. That really is the level to watch. If that were to fall, or if that were to give way, then you are looking at 6490 gap fill in the FTSE, and then obviously you've got support below at 6460, and then you've got support at 6430. And bearing in mind the H&S formation setup, as you can see here, look, this is the left shoulder, there's your head, this is your right shoulder, looking for a flush in the back of Brexit mess. Okay, goodbye now.